I'm going to send the link so that people know that we're doing a different live stream. So yeah, we're going to start Once Upon a Time momentarily. I got YouTube to work, so okay, we're not going to be starting late, thank goodness. I wish I knew where my headphones went. I'm going to have to leave the room, but I'll keep the stream going if you want to stare at my Back to the Future wall. Let me do this. Go to this stream. We are live. Okay. And then now I need to text that to everyone else. So give me a second. I need to go to Facebook. I need to send that to everyone else. Hurry. I broke my phone this past week, so luckily I've been doing it on my laptop. Am I right? Shoot, why can I not pull up the chat? Okay. Control V. Use that link instead. Okay. Now I need to post it on the page. Okay, shut up. Okay, there we go. For YouTube, use this link instead. I'm gonna text I'm gonna see if I can text YouTube use this link instead. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. I need to text one more person this, and then we can get started with the show. Tell the Once Upon a Time group chat to use this link. Okay. Let me see. Yes, we are live. Okay. We are live. Okay. All right. I think I solved it. So yeah. Let me hurry and do this really quick. Let's see. Start. I'm going to start a Q&A. Give me questions for the end. Question mark. Okay. Start. Give me questions for the end. Okay? So we have stuff to talk about after the show. No one sends questions. I don't know why. Hopefully we get participants. I want to keep this live chat. Okay. Now, last week, our live stream ended an hour through in our live stream. And you know our live streams are 2.5 hours? It ended in the middle of an episode. So if this YouTube one does not last, please forgive me. I will re-upload my Facebook one. So we are going to start Once Upon a Time. I'm going to go upstairs and see if I can find my headphones. As soon as we find my headphones, it's 7 o'clock now, I know. But as soon as I find my headphones, we'll get started. Where did I just put them? Did I drop them? I am still not finding them. That is weird. That is weird. We did go without headphones before. The sound was catching through the live stream though. I didn't get copyrighted. But still, it's nice to have. That's weird. Like seriously. Like the reason why I'm starting late is because I also had to wait for my mom to hand me the headphones, and she took longer than expected. I carried those headphones downstairs. I jumped on my bed to plug in my laptop, and then I thought they were still in my hand. I must have dropped them. That's kind of frustrating. Well, we don't have headphones, so let's pray that we don't have any other copyright. That we don't get any copyright tonight. All right. So I tried looking everywhere. I'm going to stop now so that we're not starting late. I wonder how many people are watching. It says no one's watching right now. That's okay. We're going to start the show. Okay. X out of that tab. Okay, we're still going live. That's great. I know YouTube might end, so luckily, hopefully Facebook keeps us in check. I need to pull up Disney Plus on my other thing. Here we go. We're gonna start Disney Plus. Sorry, I actually didn't have it pulled up. I was too busy trying to get the YouTube one to get start. I spent a whole hour trying to get YouTube to get trying to get the YouTube one to start that I didn't even pull up the Disney Plus tab. So we're starting a few minutes late, but not as bad as before, right? If we start the episode now, we'll still be done around 7:45. These episodes are 45 minutes, but they're not exactly 45 minutes. They're actually like 43 if you count the credits, and we don't usually watch the credits. So we're still pretty much on time, just starting a couple minutes late. We are going to start episode 10. So without further ado, we're just going to get started. So I hope all of you have your Once Upon a Time episodes ready. It's 7:04. We could still make up the time, since each episode is only 42 minutes and 30 seconds, not counting the credits. So again, Disney Plus loves to load. So everyone, do this with me. Push episode 10 of season 1. Disney Plus is loading on my screen right now. Wait a second. And then as soon as the episode starts playing, pause it. Okay. Pause it. Rewind it. Make sure it's at 0 seconds. If it's at 0 seconds, your timestamp should say 43 minutes and 49 seconds left. That's how many episodes, how much time of the episode is left. If you start at 0 seconds, is 43 minutes and 49 seconds, and that also includes Disney Plus credits. So, all right, we're gonna push play in them momentarily. It's just, sorry about the headphone thing. Sorry about still. It might have only been 2 minutes late, but we still kind of started late. So again, sorry about that. But let's just hope that things continue to go well for us in the future. Looks like I'll have to just do more live stream testing. I did do that before the first one, but I thought after a successful first live stream for our marathon, I thought I'd be fine after that. Apparently, I am not. So, without further ado, we will just get started. Um, and and yeah, let's just hope that these problems don't continue for the rest of the year because we're going to continue doing this all the way through May of 2026. So, let's just hope we get to a point where we don't have any problems on any Sundays because I really enjoyed that first week and I hate having to solve problems on the weeks following. So anyway, but it looks like we'll be fine for right now. So we're just gonna get started. Um, I'm surprised no one's watching. But all right, we'll just get started right now. So everyone, hope you have your timestamp at 0. Um, yeah. So yeah, I hope you have your timestamp at 0. Um, and we're gonna push play. Not when I say now, but I mean not when I say one, but when I say now. 3, 2, 1, now. 7:07. So um, we'll hopefully still be able to make it the time. Nice recap, by the way. I'm just checking the sound systems. That's- We have a stranger in Storybrooke and a hooded figure in the Once Upon a Time title sequence. Stormy day in Storybrooke, Maine. Nice stranger, right? You have any idea who he is? Put your thoughts in the comments for anyone new watching. Anyone old watching, let me see. What is something you remember from this episode? I know every episode pretty well, so this doesn't apply to me because I know every episode like front to back. I was too addicted to Once Upon a Time. We're gonna get a Snow White heartbreaking backstory, by the way, but I won't spoil for the newcomers. Okay. Of course, Snow White is lying. She ain't making volcanoes with her class, or I guess I should say Mary Margaret. Excuse me. Um, she is going to Granny's, and you'll find out why. She's getting her hair ready. Aw. She came to Granny's to see David. She's kind of stalking David and Catherine. They belong together. I know David's cheating on his wife, but to be fair, Catherine's not really his wife. That's what the curse gave him. They forced them into a marriage. Charming chose Snow White originally, and then Regina's curse forced them into another marriage. So, to be fair, they're not cheating. But if you didn't know this town was cursed with fairy tales, you would think, David, come on. You have to make a choice, right? It's kind of drama here. Come on, admit it's Emma. You're a stalker. I'll try to stop talking. Chinese. I love Chinese. You know who I can't get out of my head? Arkansas. I'm in love with Arkansas. There have been times I wish I could forget about that place because it's heartbreaking whenever I think about it. I love the South. It's hard to be away from it. By the way, we haven't seen a lot of Red Riding Hood in our flashbacks, so we will get to see more about her now that we're further into the season. It's also been a month since we started this marathon. Can you believe it? Oof. Oof. There is a way. Of a man. Rumpelstiltskin. He was making deals, no matter evil or good. Kind of funny. Both Snow White and Mary Margaret. Kind of similar. They both want to forget about David or Charming because they can't be together if one's already married, or they can't be together. Well, again, he's about to be married to Princess Abigail, but we know that doesn't happen compared to the first episode. And if you know the story of Snow White, she always ends up with the prince, not someone else. Um, Not true. Love is actually good. Rumple. It's not a weakness. Villains think love is a weakness, but it's a strength when you're a hero. Good strength. Evil says weakness. Evil doesn't love. Only good does. Mhm. Oh, back to present day. Snow White is shopping. Mary Margaret is shopping. It's easy to call them Snow White, especially since most of the show is going to take place after the curse breaks. It's only season one, though they still call her Mary Margaret even when they know each other. So, I mean, yeah, Mary Margaret, Snow White. You know who I'm talking about. Same person, just one's in the real world, one's not. Hmm. Stop getting involved with David and Catherine, right? No one wants to be the Catherine. Trust me. As we continue watching the show, you'll probably agree later on. No one wants to be Catherine unless you want a lot of broken hearts. Um, I doubt that, King George. We all know what happens. Though King George is so the evil queen is Snow White's villain. Charming's villain is King George. They're both evil. They might as well get married to each other. The evil queen and King George. They're both evil. They both are evil parents. I mean, King George is not really Charming's father, but not really adoptive father either, except to James. But still, but pretending to be James and pretending to be that King George is Charming's father, like our Charming David. It's like both Snow White and Charming have an evil parent, have an evil dad, evil mom. That's never usually shown in the original fairy tale. Prince Charming never had an evil parent in the fairy tale. That's not in Once Upon Time. Snow White's trying to avoid David because he's cursely married to another woman. Not really, but cursely married. I have a hard time going on a date, so I would love a curse to force it to put me in a marriage. Then I don't have to look for the woman, right? I'll just hope she loves me when the curse is broken. Or it never breaks at all. He is suspicious, the stranger is, but we're not gonna get much on him in this episode because this is a Snow White and Charming based episode. It's actually called 7:15 AM, and it's not 7:15 AM. It is 7:15 PM, isn't it? It was 7 o'clock when we started. No, well, not really. We started at 7:07. So since it's 7:22, it would have been 7:15 right now as I said it if we started on time. So that was good guessing on my part, even though I was 7 minutes off. But it's 7:22 PM. This episode talks about the morning. We live at night. Sorry, I should have been quiet so you can hear the letter. You need to mute my live stream just to hear the episode. Feel free. Or tone it down a little bit because I don't want to interrupt your experience. It's just sometimes after a while, I mean, the episodes are never boring, but like sometimes the thought crosses my mind that I'm going live and for people who might not be bringing up their Disney Plus or whatever, they'd be seeing a boring face. So I'm trying to make it a little interesting. But that's why I say make sure you have a copy of the show so you don't stare at my boring face for 2 hours. That's kind of smart. You're hiding from James, or it's funny. His cursed name is David, and his real name is actually David as well. He's just taking on his twin brothers. But that's why I say Charming and David to separate the two. But anyway, Snow White, why did you hide from your Prince Charming? They wouldn't. They would. The guards wouldn't capture you if you would have just said hi. He's trying to get out. There's like no way. Locked in a jail cell, Snow White. I thought you were good at breaking in. So I hope so. It's grumpy. were dwarfs given feeling names? Happy, grumpy, bashful, sneezy. Those are just weird. This is when Snow White meets Grumpy, apparently. We will get that flashback about Grumpy and his fairy girlfriend, by the way. Stealthy. Now, you may remember you might not remember Stealthy from the Disney Snow White, but Once Upon a Time's theory is that there was 8 dwarfs, and then one of them died, and that's how they got 7. So that's why Stealthy is unfamiliar, because Stealthy is not in Snow White in any of the fairy tales. And they're gonna free Snow White while they're at it. Mm. Boom, Whoa! Snow White! I mean, Mary Margaret! Oh, David saves Snow White's life. That was scary. Imagine hanging off from a cliff. Okay, because we're 7 minutes behind schedule, when this episode ends, I'm gonna try to start the next one right away. So just be ready so that we can make up the extra 2 to 3 minutes on these 2 episodes. And then that way, when we start episode 12, we'll be right on time. Um, Grumpy, you should listen to Snow White. Your sneak away plan might not work. King George is Snow White. Color and Rain. You know, it was smart to put rain in this episode because did you know in Stevenston, Canada, um, it actually rains about 260 days out of the year. That's pretty much most of the year. So when they were filming, it was probably raining a lot, and they decided to use a rain day for this episode. Probably smart. Take shelter in a cabin. That's why this episode's called 7:15. They both have feelings for each other, but they have something keeping them from being together, like a marriage or something. Come on, David. You gotta break up with your wife, right? Who's not really your wife from Fairy Tale Land, at least. And David didn't even know, so. You think you would know if your wife was pregnant because you're part of making that happen. Won't go in more detail than that, but what's in the box, guys? For those who don't know or remember. Kind of like a deal. August is really into Emma. By the way, I'm curious. After being 10 episodes into the show, which ship do you like? Snow and Charming, even though they have a funky relationship right now with being married to Catherine. Emma and Graham, even though that's out the window. Maybe Emma and the stranger. Tell me some of your ships. I won't spoil if your suspicions are right, but or wrong. But anyway, he's a writer. Sorry, I was talking during that whole thing. But he's a writer. They showed a typewriter. Damon, you're making a lot of bad decisions, buddy. Kind of a curse, but still, I don't. The curse might prevent you from making some free will choices, but surely, if you can't be with Snow White because of the curse, you could at least not cheat on Catherine. I don't think the curse just wants to keep you and your real wife apart. So just be with Catherine until the curse breaks. Don't need to cheat on her because he's been in a coma. The curse doesn't really affect on him. I mean, it does because he has cursed memories. But Snow White, let go of your hand. Yeah, you can't have both. Honestly, I would have chosen Jennifer Goodwin. She's a good actress. They got married in real life anyway, by the way. This show is where they met for the first time, and after like a season or two, they fell in love in real life. True love's kiss. Well, not just true love's kiss, but true love doesn't just happen in fairy tales. It happens in real life because of fairy tales. Get what I said there? This is also kind of real life and fairy tales. The show itself. True that. He's not his son. He just stole him from his mother. Well, not really. Charming chose to be prince, but see, Snow White has to break his heart. This is why I said at the beginning this is going to be a sad episode, where because a heartbreaking episode. I don't know if I said it was Snowy and Charming, but hopefully, if I didn't spoil too much, it was a heartbreaking episode. So Snow White has to break Charming's heart on purpose or accident, kind of. She's lying about her feelings, basically. Aw. Now, I've never had a heartbreak, but that seems sad. Mhm. 'Cause he loves Snow White. No, that's not what you want, David. No, you don't. You can't keep lying to 2 women. No. He's gonna avoid Snow White. Mhm. But the funny thing is Snow White's gonna have the same thought. She's not gonna go to Granny's either, so none of them will show up. The same mindset. So that's why they're like, "They should be together." We don't ship David and Catherine, we ship David and Mary Margaret. I know it's kind of a messy situation, and David's making wrong choices, and it would be wrong to probably leave his wife, but to be fair, he was kind of forced into being married with her because of the curse. So, if it was real life, that'd be a different story. This is the image Regina saw in last episode from last week. She's divorcing with Doris now. When did that happen? If you recall in Hansel and Gretel, she said that. Yep, Sophie died, so everyone is sad. Now they're 7. I probably wouldn't wanna drink that. It's what makes me me. I let even the pain I have for Arkansas, that's what I would rather not forget the time I had there. This is an episode I can relate to. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. This is how she met the 7 dwarfs, and this is how she ends up living with them. Kinda fits with the story, right? She doesn't just fall upon their house and break in like the Disney movie does. Even the live action does the same thing. This one has a different twist. She ends up becoming friends with the dwarfs first and then move in, which is probably more appropriate. Speaking of dwarfs, Snow White, well, Emma's kind of doing the same thing with Snow White, except Snow White's not a dwarf. I mean, friends with her. It's 7:15 and Snow White's not even going. Grannies. As I said, yep, they'll always find each other. We all know they end up together in the end. Prince who? Prince who? Prince who? She drank the potion. My goodness. They both have the idea of coming to Granny's later in the day. And they keep coming at the same time no matter what. Fortunately, they can't avoid each other. They can't avoid each other. They keep coming at the same time. She's not pregnant, so now they think they can be together. She's not pregnant with your wife. You're just watching. You're gonna mess this drama up. Yeah, I won't spoil what she does, but Regina's gonna help bring the truth to the surface one way or another. So, all right. Well, that's the credits and the end of the episode. We're gonna get right into the next one just to catch up on time. It's only 7:49, so because that episode was 42 and a half minutes, we saved ourselves 3 minutes. And so by saving ourselves 3 minutes, we're only 4 minutes behind now. This will pretty much only put us 1 minute behind if we start right now. So push episode 10, and yeah, and rewind the once your episode is playing, as mine just did. Rewind it, make sure it's at 0 seconds, and your timestamp should say 43 minutes and 39 seconds left. Once you're ready, I'll give you a few more seconds to do that. Once you're ready, it's now 7:50, so I'm going to quickly start. But we're going to let's see how everything's doing. Everything's going good. Wow, it's already been almost an hour. Time flies. We're going to get right into our next episode in 3, 2, 1, now. And there's no recap, but we have a genie. It's a genie story. And this is episode 11. Once we finish this episode, we are halfway through season one. Oh my goodness, the marathon is going quick. We have 7 seasons, so that's nothing compared to the whole show. Okay, I better stop talking so you guys can watch the book. Mhm. That's our secret. It's just an Emma and Henry Bond, not Regina. Regina's acting like Emma's not being responsible. My goodness, she didn't take Henry there. Exactly. Regina's upset because Emma and Henry have a special place. Yep, she knew about the castle all along. Actually, that's what cell phones looked like back then. Oh my goodness, we so upgraded since then. Sydney Glass. Do you guys trust Sydney? For those who are watching for the first time, do you trust Sydney? Is he a trustworthy man? We get to see who he was in Fairy Tale Land. Oh, as I was saying earlier, Emma did not take Henry to the castle. He ran away, and Emma just found him. Regina should not say that Emma's not responsible. She is. Who's the one who's supposed to raise and watch Henry? Regina. I'd say Regina's not the responsible one. Only three. You only get three wishes. You know all the genie rules now. All magic comes with a price. Are you sure there's not a detachment to be free? Hmm. What are the consequences of being free, guys? This is one flaw once upon a time. They do actually have a price. Okay. So if you haven't been paying attention, first wish was to set the genie free. Oh wait. Listen, he even says this. Wish comes with a price. Never use this wish. Okay, now I can say it because that was important to listen to. So, okay, that was important to listen. Wait. Oh, so see the the king wished him free so he could find true love. So, all right. Okay, now there's nothing important for a quick second. I can hurry and say this. Um, later, especially in the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland show, the price of freeing a genie means that whoever wished the genie free becomes a genie. So Once Upon a Time is going against their own logic because anytime they wish a genie free, someone else becomes a genie. And back in season one, they didn't think that they already tried this before. They wished the genie free, and the king didn't become a genie. So they kind of get convoluted as the seasons go on. But all magic comes with a price, and you know that from the very start. So despite the show's flaws, we can put that aside. But aside from the show's flaws, I just thought I'd point that out. is that the king should be a genie by now, and he never does turn into a genie. He just gets no consequences for wishing him free. And then, as far as the price goes for giving the third and final wish to the genie himself, there's not much consequence there either. Any consequences, I guess, are unconsequenceable, if that's a word. Oh no, his book is gone. Hmm. Regina's being so strict. Hard to do that when everyone is cursed and doing what she wants them to do. You're just the unfortunate, Emma. Snow and David, once again. Except this is a genie focused episode, so if you're sick of their toxic relationship with the wife problem and stuff, it's not going to take a lot of this episode. You don't have to worry. For anyone out there who thinks that. I don't. I love Snow. Tell your wife. And just under them, we have a police cop, Emma and Sydney, working together. Sydney Glass, Emma Swan. Glass Swan. Remember that joke from last week? A glass swan. Do you want to buy a glass swan for your decoration? As a decoration. Okay, I should be quiet. This is important. Yep, that's what the flashback's for. She used to think she was a different person. We're on Snow's birthday. Mhm. Regina feels heartbreaking because the king can't say that about her. The genie sees that. Gina was watching. Mm. The genie found true love through Regina, and that's how he ended up in her pocket. Even when she turned into the evil queen, which she does kind of turn evil in this episode. You should go. You should still go by the law. You're gonna break the law just to get her exposed. No judge will believe you. Gina's so good that even the law can't see how evil she is. So they have to break the law to prove her guilty and not innocent. Don't do this at home, children. Do not break the law. Go by the book, especially if you're becoming a police officer. For any children that might be watching, don't get into her personal diary, please. But what if he's the one who stole her heart? King is so the king is not a fool, but he's a fool to realize he's talking to the person who stole his wife's heart. Well, he doesn't need to look for him. He is the guy that stole her heart. We all saw that. The genie of the lamp, first genie of the show. We'll get many more genies in the later seasons, and they cannot be released free that easily as this episode did. I'll be quiet. They're following her car. Oh boy. Huh. Yep, Regina's smart. Smarter than that, guys. Nice try. Rumpel solving all your answers. Rumpel has a point, Emma. Maybe you shouldn't work with Sydney. I know I can't really talk to these characters, okay? I'm just trying to make it a little more. Well, we haven't seen Snow White's, Snow White. We haven't seen the Evil Queen's father since he died in episode 2. It's been almost 10 episodes, guys. Can you believe it? It's been exactly 10 episodes since we watched the pilot, for crying out loud. And a month! My goodness. In about a month from now, we'll be done with season 1. I believe it. Saying he was Snow White's father. Like, water. Wants to protect Mm-hmm. Storebrook is a small town, so it's not far to drive here. So you don't get yourself caught. Regina, do you think she knows? Do you think she knows what they were really up to? Keep watching. I know you think, yeah, eventually it has to stop somewhere. As far as how smart someone can go, it can only go so far. But Regina is pretty smart. Back to flashback. Oh my goodness, we're already past halfway through this episode. Time flies. We still got another one after this, guys. Don't worry, we're not done for tonight yet. We're only halfway through this live stream. That was close. I could have bit her hand still, just holding her hand like that. What if the king didn't live? Hmm. Close the lid before the snakes bite you. This stranger might be a fairy tale character, and he's not cursed. Hint, hint. Can you figure it out? Fruit of the poisonous tree. That's what this episode's called. If you listen carefully, they'll say the title of the episode, and that's why it's the title of that episode. It's like 715 was. She destroys what people love. I'm sorry. This is important. Listen. She already knew about the castle, apparently. That was the pilot. The first day she was there. Aha! That got their attention. Everyone seems to like that idea. Mhm. That probably hurt. Now, if Regina wasn't evil, that would probably hurt someone, because all that was for nothing. She didn't build this home. She built something for the city, so it was a waste of time. You guys should have done it by the book, or not at all. See, Regina's not so easily beat, everyone. Hmm. Beware the snake. Be careful, yo. And that is how Snow's father died. And as you remember from last week, wait, he revealed who the man was to the king. So, the king regrets wishing him free. I mean, magic does come with a price. And maybe the price was his own death. But that wasn't the cost from the wish. That was the whole genie's doing. So, as you can tell, the next scene that happens in that flashback, at the king's funeral, that's where the huntsman comes in, and that's what we watched last week. So, this is where at this point in the show, you can kind of see the flashbacks connect a little bit. Rumple's not porn, don't worry. But this conversation is. Just listen. Sorry. Oof. Oof. Not open for discussion. Speaking of high ground, happy Star Wars Day, guys. See the shirt? Emma lost the high ground. Regina has the high ground now. Regina's Obi-Wan. Technically Darth Vader. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. Regina. Emma lost the high ground. You win. Sorry. I was going to be quiet during that whole conversation so you can listen. But like I said, you can always tune down my voice, or you could just watch my live stream separately so you don't ruin your experience of the show. Mm-hmm. Oh, poor Henry. He lost his book and it's probably never coming back. They can't see each other now. Emma, you should have thought of that before you tried to go against Regina. Because now you lost your chance to be with Henry. Oh. She destroys what people love. And sometimes it's not literal. Sometimes it's keeping a mother away from their child, especially if they have legal rights to do so. Because they share custody. And this is where the book is. Someone took it. Someone took it, and it wasn't Regina. It was the stranger. He took the book. Isn't that enough proof to let you know he's a fairy tale character? Why would you be interested in fairy tales? He wasn't. A lot more scale. That reminds me of the Hunger Games. They won't get pulled again. Don't drink when you're disappointed, of course. Almost over. Mhm. See, now she's revealing her evil character. She was evil all along, even before the king's death. She just hid it at first. Unfortunately, his wish to turn back into a genie did not work. You'll see. Just so he would never leave her because he loves her too much. When someone's being so evil and so psychopath, those love feelings are not worth it. Yep. This is how the genie became Mirror Mirror on the wall. Crossovers from Aladdin to Snow White. Genie is the mirror. And he's in front of a mirror. Good transition. This is important. Important cliffhanger for this episode. I'll be quiet. Sydney broke her brakes. Mm. You wouldn't survive as mayor, that's for sure. Bum, bum. Evil queen music. She is so evil and so clever. This was all her planning all along. She wanted to be exposed, just like Rumple did back in Emma's election to be sheriff. Okay, push the next episode, and then once it plays, rewind it because I have something to say. Okay. Pause it, rewind it, and if your timestamp is at 0, it should say 43 minutes and 43 seconds. Hey, it's 43:43. So yes, Sydney was never fired in the first place. He was working with Regina all along, and with their smart plan and genius, they kind of like stealing Emma's plan of planning a bug. They kind of have a bug on Emma. So everywhere she goes and everything she does, Regina will always know about it. So now, who's the one in Regina's pocket? Emma is, for trusting Sydney Glass. That's why I hinted at the beginning of the episode. I don't think you want to be friends with Sydney, Emma. I don't think you should trust him, even if he pretends to be fired because Regina's evil. Regina's more clever than that. So Rumble and Regina are both clever in their own ways because even the fire is not what got Emma elected as sheriff. She had to stand up to Mr. Gold. That was part of his plan all along, if you remember from episode 8. Now this is episode 11. It's kind of similar because last week we did episode 7, 8, and 9, and it was episode 8 when Emma exposed Rumple. But this time she exposed Regina, and it happens to be the second episode of the night. 10, 11, 12, 7, 8, beep, 9, and then 10, beep, 11, 12. It's always the second episode where she tries to expose a villain of some sorts. Anyway, just found that interesting. We're gonna get into episode 12 now, our last episode of tonight. It's called Skin Deep, and I've noticed they said fruit of the poisonous tree on the last episode. The time before that, they said the title 715. I'll try not to talk too much. Listen to the episode very carefully. See if they say the words skin deep in their dialogue. That would be cool. I don't think all these episodes come from the dialogue of the characters, but it's also 8:35, so we're only 5 minutes behind. We'll just get started with this episode, and then we can still have a 10-minute Q&A at the end, just like last week. Last week, I think we also started a few minutes late because I kept talking and I needed to stop. But we did start on time. So sorry for not giving us the full 15 minutes, but if we start now, we can still have 10 minutes of Q&A before 9:30. So, all right, we're going to start episode 12, Skin Deep. I hope your timestamp's at 0. Remember, 43 minutes and 43 seconds. And we're going to push play in 3, 2, 1, now. And there's no previously on Once Upon a Time. There's no just the titles. Recap this time. All right. Rumple Spinning Wheel. ABC Studios presents Once Upon a Time. Well, new princess, guys. We got a new princess on our second Sunday night. This is our fourth Sunday night. It's also May the 4th. What a coincidence. This is our fourth night of marathon. We were introduced to Cinderella on our second Sunday night, and now on our fourth Sunday night, we're being introduced to Belle. Every even Sunday, every even Sunday we get a princess. Apparently. For a price. I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was. If you're worried about being on time with my commentary, I said that before Rumpel said with a price. I was predicting what he was gonna say, and I was right. I know the show too well. Sorry for spoiling 10 seconds of the show. It's not a big deal. It's only 10 seconds. Sorry. To Gaston. That's Gaston, guys. That's Gaston, guys. He will come back in the show later on, by the way. We don't see him very much. He's only on a couple episodes of the entire show, but he does come back. This is not his only appearance. Forever. He's immortal, so that means until you die and he'll still be alive. Listen. Beast! You know this is Beauty and the Beast by now, guys. Gaston. Belle. Beast. Sir Maurice. Maurice was a king. I like that better than Disney. Disney makes Maurice poor. Even though he's an inventor, he looks poor. He looks better as a king. No offense, Beauty and the Beast lovers. Congratulations on your war. They were, Ogre's War. Michael won the battle for them, but with the price of taking Belle, Maurice's daughter. Rumpel's so mean. Just because he didn't pay his bill on time? Come on. I mean, keep up to date with your bills, but they, they'll probably other people would at least be decent enough to accept a week late. Come on. What does she want from him? Nope. They're hiding the fact that they're in love and dating. Catherine needs to know this, guys. Cheating! You gotta be careful, Sonali. Henry would not be happy. Emma doesn't want to hang out with the girls. That's probably fair. They're all doing something weird. Not Cinderella. Cinderella's happy with her Thomas or what's his cursed name? I don't know. Actually, it's Cinderella's cursed name. I can't remember Thomas's cursed name. Maybe it's Thomas because David's name didn't change. His real name wasn't James to begin with. True that. Beauty and the Beast. If you know the story of Beauty and the Beast, Beast has a hard time of loving Belle. That's not a spoiler unless you've never seen Beauty and the Beast before. And it does happen the same way Once Upon a Time does it. Belle gets locked in a dungeon, like the movie, because she traded herself for her father. Now the dungeon's temporal because then she gets her room, right? A little different than the Disney version, so hopefully that doesn't throw you off. This is a good episode. That was a bad joke, Rumple. Telling her to skin children alive? She's not gonna do that. He just knew that would scare her. It's just a cup. Okay. She's kinda scared of him. She doesn't know what to expect from him. That's how they fell in love. The chip cup. Get it? Chip. 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 Except he's not alive in Once Upon a Time. I'm sorry. The curse is not as object alive as the Disney version. Careful what you say. She can arrest you. She's the police now. That's funny. Forget that you lost your son. Because remember, we had that flashback last week too. Rumple and his son. How he's the dark one. And his son, he doesn't have him right now in the present day, so you know something happened. So I'm not spoiling what happened to him. I'm just saying he lost his son. That's obvious at this point. Unless you're well, unless they didn't point out the obvious. Then I'm sorry for spoiling. We will find out in this season what happens to his son. And it is in this season. I know the show so well. I know what flashbacks are like. We will get it just towards the end of the season. One of the last episodes. I can tell you the exact one, but I want to keep it a surprise. So I won't say anything. It's just at the end of the season. That's all you need to know. He found everything except for one thing. Couple months, that's how long they've been together. Exactly. That's not what Belle's trying to do. She actually wants to fall in love with you because she's not seeing anyone else. Not true. He's not ugly. He looks cute in his. It was not a woman selling flowers. He killed Gaston. Belle never knows about it. But we do see him again, regardless, in flashbacks. He just doesn't show up often, though, so don't expect another Gaston flashback very soon. That's not even close. Unlike fairy tale Disney movies, women are not damsels in distresses. Belle is being heroic by choosing to go with Rumpel to save her family. Mhm. Yeah, not exactly. Because you're stuck in a castle. Gaston. We'll see him again long later in the future, like seasons later. Okay, don't expect this to come back and haunt you. But it's a good detail to know for later. Mhm. She doesn't love Gaston. She loves someone else. Make a deal like you always do. It's his plan. He let her go, but he's still kind of a monster and evil. Versus in the Disney version, Beast became a good guy, right? Before letting her go. There's not even rose petals to break the spell. It's a way different Beauty and the Beast story. I'm sorry, guys. That's not what you were expecting in Once Upon a Time. It's still better than Disney, in my opinion. Cinderella. We haven't seen her since 2 weeks ago, 4 through 6. Mhm. 2 Valentine cards. Funny. It's not Valentine's Day, but it is a Valentine's Day episode. So if you need something to watch on Valentine's Day, this is your episode. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. 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 We captured him. Rumple. Bad guy. Still a monster, even when you're a prince or a human. Again. Still kind of human. In the real world, curses don't work. Except for this curse that makes everyone forget who they are, of course. But that's why he doesn't have his scaly skin, because in the real world, a beast wouldn't look so beastly. He'd still be a human. Hmm. She knew who she was. Well, she's acting weird. Regina doesn't take no for an answer. Regina's evil. You're standing right in front of her. Rumble already knows about her visit with the queen, and he's not happy. He's gonna pretend like he doesn't know anything. Um, it's going to get a little violent in a second. Pre-warning. Not Rumple and Bell. I'm talking about present day, but it happens around this part after you've learned this in the flashback. As far as the flashback goes, Rumple. I won't spoil anything. Tell me about your son. Must be very lonely for someone who can't die for 200 years. By the way, I've seen interviews with this actress who plays Belle, Emily D. Raven. She said this is her favorite episode, the very first one she was on. Kisses him. And look, unlike Beauty and the Beast, the spell doesn't break right away, but you see it starts to break. It's working. The curse is breaking a little bit. Kiss her again. Kiss her again. Oh my goodness, Rumple. You are almost about to be free from the Dark One powers. You refused True Love's kiss, unlike the Disney version. Sorry, no happy ending for Beauty and the Beast in this story, guys. This is when Rumple gets angry. Well, I can see why no one loves you because you have a bad attitude. This is not as violent because he just throws her in a jail cell, but what he's about to do in the present is kind of a little violent. So this is not a cool scene to watch, but just to keep you guys synced with my commentary, I'm not skipping over anything. This is kind of torture. He's upset with Belle's father for killing her, I guess, which he actually did not, but the episode will explain everything. That's a little violent. Rimple's just angry, guys. He's cursed. He doesn't know who you're talking about. He doesn't remember who Belle is. Rumple's just upset. Okay, finally. Not, something that's not violent is the. Well, I mean, now we're in the flashback and he's just smashing the mirror. Violent, but not as violent as what we were seeing just a second. Poor Rumple. And yeah, Emma just caught you. You're going to jail for that acting on your anger. And he breaks all the cups. Rumble's just kind of upset. It made me kind of cry when I first watched this because it hurts my soul to see him torture someone. But Rumple's a villain. He's a hard time controlling his anger. He breaks every single cup in his castle except for the chipped cup. He spares little Chip. If anything, he does one thing nice. He spares Chip from being thrown against the wall and smashed into pieces. But he has the magic to put it back together, technically. So he could break the cup and put it back together, even if he was alive. Pretty much resurrect him from the dead, since the cup is not a human being, doesn't have a heart. and do resurrection. Magic, there's a rule in the show. Magic cannot bring back the living dead. But since a cup is not a living thing, doesn't qualify. Poor Chip. These objects don't come to life, but still good. It's still good Beauty and the Beast story. Besides that violent scene we just saw, which is not part of the story. It's the present day. There's nothing wrong with breaking a window. It's just a window. Anyway, sorry, I know we've moved on from that scene. Listen, shh, shh, shh. This is important. Again, technically we're already married, but you don't remember. He proposed! I should have listened. What was his name? It's not Thomas, is it? That's his prince name. Oh, I should read his tag. He's not a main character of the show, so that's why I don't pay attention. But anyway, Cinderella's prince proposed to her. They're getting married in real life and in fairy tale land. I mean, they were already married in fairy tale land, but now they're getting married in real life. Poor Snow White. Where's her true love? There he is! Happy Valentine's Day. Not really. Happy Star Wars Day, guys! On Valentine's Day. Which is not in May, usually. Um, I know this scene. Just what? Wrong card. David, you got your cards mixed up. Oof, that hurts. David. I think we better find it. You can't have both. You have to give up one. Just break up with her. Catherine's not your soulmate. Happy Valentine's. That was a sore Valentine's Day. You should have not gave her the wrong card. Then it would have never got brought up. I knew that was gonna happen because I know the show too well. But it's my favorite, and I want to review it on YouTube, just like I did Back to the Future last year. For Facebook people, you don't know, but I did do live streams on the Back to the Future movies. Check those out. I'm not gonna do them on Facebook. It's on YouTube. I didn't have problems with the live streams last year, so maybe I should have started one sometime last year. We would have been done about now. Yeah. Emma's the cop. She caught you torturing a man. You're under arrest, Mr. Gold. I mean, she was offering to help him find something, but Rumple's like, no, just forget about it. And then she's like, well, then I'm arresting you. Because if you're not going to cooperate, then he's not going to do anything to her. He loves her too. She's kind of heartbroken because she kind of actually loved him. That's when she realized she loved him too. So she's going to say one last thing to him. He's just saying that to break her heart. Belle knows that he loves her. Exactly. It's not a big deal to say this. It won't ruin your experience. Listen. Belle leaves and she never comes back. Not really a spoiler. Unlike Beauty and the Beast, she never comes back, and Gaston never tries to kill him because Gaston's dead. Rumple killed Gaston before he even had a chance to kill the Beast. Yep. Speaking of which, Emma still owes Rumple a favor from Cinderella episode, which we saw her again. There'll be more for that. It comes in season 2. The request to get a favor from Mr. Gold is in season 2. After being grounded from Henry, Emma's finally getting 29 and a half minutes. I knew it wasn't 30 because she already wasted 30 seconds just questioning Regina. Bring me back a comb just this once. Mhm. Emma and Henry get time together after the whole episode 11 drama. Okay, this is important. I gotta be quiet. Please sit. This is important. This is a big plot reveal. Just listen. We're almost done, guys. This is crazy. Hmm. They have hit the bottom line. They know each other so well. It has come down to this bottom line. Mhm. That's a waste of time. Yes. Every moment on this earth, he's been Mr. Gold. But what about moments spent elsewhere? Not premortal life, but elsewhere. We're talking about a different planet called Fairy Tale Earth. Your name. Listen. He's awake, guys. Rumple's awake. Regina and Rumple are not affected by the curse. The point of this scene is to make sure they're on the same page, and that they're still working together despite their differences in the past few episodes with the election and stuff. Because Regina didn't want Emma as sheriff. She knew that was going to be a mistake because that will break the curse later with her being sheriff. Later, not now. Not about the being. Not Regina. We shall see. Ha ha ha. Regina is playing evil, double crossing Mr. Gold like that. Nothing will change. We're in this together. You can't do anything. Rumple has the power around here. It's his curse. He's only letting you be in charge. He has control to take you out of the picture. Let's not fight Rumple and Regina. Okay. This is important. This is why a certain mermaid. Now that will come back. Ariel is in this show. That will come back in a later season. This flashback happened right after that one. She purposely pretended not to know her name. Oof. Tragedy. Get it? That's why she never came back. This is heartbreaking. I'm gonna let you guys cry your tears out right now. This is a sad story for Beauty and the Beast. Makes a great show though. Some stories don't have happy endings, like Cinderella. Fiance have gone missing. He wears that exact same dress in the Ariel flashback. So they were so smart when they did that episode in season 3. So we got 2 seasons. That's your news. That's your new detail. Yeah, Bellamy's on. Right. Regina is Regina lying? I wish I could tell you, but I'm not going to spoil. We're done here. Rumple and Regina have a bad relationship. Hmm. Hmm. Should Rumple get a new girl? I mean, his first wife left him. His second potential wife just died. Ever since he found that out, he has the chip cup to remind him of her. And that's why he was so upset when he made his curse and found her father. Doesn't remember who she is. I mean, who he is. Rumple's even crying. He's wishing he didn't let her go. Hmm. Here's our cliffhanger for the episode, though. This will answer your question whether Regina was lying or not. Just wait. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's falling down. It's a rose! Beauty and the Beast! Cute. Like beauty, like beast. Because Regina's beautiful, but she's a beast. No one has come to see her, not ever. For it. For it. Big plot reveal. And this is how we'll end our tonight's marathon. It was a little violent, but we got through it. Here we go. Ready? Belle's alive. Belle's alive. Regina was lying. Plot proven. I know it's not a spoiler anymore. Belle's alive. Belle's alive. And one day, when Rumple finds out that Belle's alive, oh boy, do we have 2 villains hitting at their heads. But the curse doesn't break till the end of season 1. I've already told you that. So that's not going to happen till next season. All right. Well, Belle's alive, and Regina lied about her death. Just make Rumple sad and miserable. Well, boy, that's gonna come back and haunt her when the curse breaks. not just Rumple, but everyone's gonna hate Regina for cursing them in the first place. She's gonna have her head tied to a stake pretty much if the curse breaks. You better be careful. Well, that wraps up episodes for tonight. We have exactly 12 minutes of Q&A. It's not exactly the 15, but it's 12. So, whoa, boy, guys. Any questions for me at all? Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Okay. I will check my live stream for any questions. Let's see. My YouTube live stream is still going on. Woohoo! I don't have to re-upload the Facebook version. That's great. I did, however, start my Facebook one on time. I started it at 6:50. I just had problems with the YouTube one. So this whole time about starting late was only because YouTube. But it made Facebook start late since I don't want to start the show until both live streams are on. Let's see. Give me questions to for the end. I'm not seeing anyone give me questions here. So yeah, maybe if you could put so I'm guessing you can watch this live. So if you're watching this later in the week, can you leave questions below so I have something to answer in the next live stream? Keep in mind, we're not going to go live next week. Next week is Mother's Day. We're taking the week off. I originally planned that. Check your schedules. If I need to repost it, I will. But check your schedules. You can see that May 11th was not on there. May 18th is our next Once Upon a Time date. That will be my birthday. Happy Star Wars Day. Now that I'm looking at myself on the live stream, you can see, I know you can see my shirt now if you couldn't see it during the show. So anyway, happy Star Wars Day. Sorry you can react or watch Star Wars. It's Once Upon a Time night. Yeah, next year Star Wars Day will be a Monday, so maybe I'll watch Star Wars next year. As far as going live, I don't know. Probably not. My only intention was to do my favorite movie and TV show on YouTube. And, well, I didn't plan on Facebook, but I figured I could try Facebook for once. So far, Facebook has proven to be successful. It's only YouTube giving me the problems, which doesn't make sense because I've done live streams all the time on YouTube and never had such big issues as I'm having doing this marathon. But yeah. Originally, I wasn't ever planning to do live streams on Facebook, and then I just thought it would be cool to test it out. And it would also be nice to have a backup live stream in case something goes wrong, which there have been a lot of problems that have gone wrong. Speaking of last week, only having an hour of my live stream. Facebook saved our lives last week, so you could watch episodes 7 through 9. I'm so glad I didn't have to relive those videos on live stream. Thank goodness. If you were confused and you couldn't find my live stream, it's only because I downloaded the live stream from Facebook and it only uploaded as a YouTube video, not a live stream. So that's why you probably couldn't find it. It's in the playlist. It's in the Once Upon a Time Marathon playlist. Episode 7 through 9 is under the video section if you're not looking in the playlist. So anyway, for anyone who was confused. But today it did work out fine because look, I'm looking at myself in the YouTube live stream, like as we speak. I'm not looking at the Facebook one now. I'm looking at the YouTube one as we speak. And it says we've been live for 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 16 seconds. So that gives us about 15 minutes if we want to go 2 hours and 40. But anyway, but yeah, 8 minutes till 9:30 because this one started 7 minutes late. Right? Yeah, started 7 minutes late. So yeah, I guess no questions for me. I'm looking in the chat right now. There's no questions. Usually I do this on my phone, but my phone, I dropped it in the washer. So luckily I don't need it to look at messages. So yeah. Yeah, so we've learned Belle and Rumple. Stillskin is the beast in Beauty and the Beast. We've learned that Sydney was a genie and he became Mirror on the Wall. We've learned about Snow and Charming and how they broke up. Now I know you're confused because we know Snow and Charming get married and they give birth to Emma. Again, we have a whole series of flashbacks. And there's many years in between the time they met and their marriage. that that you can create more drama and storyline. And it would be boring if Snowy and Charming fell in love at first sight. So obviously that's not the case. Even though you can kind of say they fell in love at first sight, it took a while before they got married. There was a lot of breakup and then making up. And so we just saw them break up because King George was forcing Snow White to break up with him. There's going to be a follow-up flashback where they get back together. And then they get separated again. And then they get back together until eventually Snow White's under a sleeping curse. And then you know how the rest of it goes. Charming wakes her up, breaks the sleeping curse. They get married. They have Emma. The curse happens. And then everyone's in the real world. So eventually the flashbacks will resolve themselves if it doesn't make sense. You can keep up with the show. You just got to be patient when it gets confusing. All answers will be resolved at some later point in the show. They are meant to be confusing for a reason, because if you were to tie a knot and solve everything in one episode or season, then you wouldn't have the rest of the show, right? The show is all about mystery. So, hopefully you're following along, and hopefully the flashbacks don't become confusing to you. Hopefully I was able to clarify things. I'm sorry for talking during some important conversations. I try to be quiet. It's hard to stay quiet, especially if there are some crazy people out there who just watch the live stream. It could get boring if you don't get a separate device to watch the show. So just gotta make sure you watch the show. So like I said, with next week being canceled, I tried canceling the event individually, but I accidentally canceled it collectively. And so that's why I had to recreate the events last week. Luckily before I broke my phone. But yeah, I sent the link to the new live stream. It's not under the group page anymore. It's under my profile. Luckily, it gives me the option to link my group to it. So hopefully by finishing this live stream, it is still published in the group. If not, I can always just send the link. And normally that's what I do, is what I did before I accidentally canceled everything on accident. The live stream posted on my group page, but then I wanted to repost the link to the live stream in case, in case I got lost somewhere down the Facebook page. But anyway, I guess if posting the link after that doesn't really help anyway, but still. Regardless, I just feel like posting the link in case the video gets deleted, right? You have the link. If I know Facebook deletes things after a month, so if by some reason the link doesn't work because Facebook deleted it, there's always the YouTube version, and that's my favorite place to go live, not Facebook anyway. So it's nice trying out Facebook, for the first time. I think there was one time I went live, and that was when I opened my mission call, but it was under my mom's Facebook page. So anyway, I did have a Facebook account back then, but I didn't know how to use live stream on Facebook, and I didn't want to learn how at the time. I'm grateful I did. I'm enjoying it. Sadly, I know Facebook just put up new policies, though, to delete old live streams, so I'm sure that mission call one is deleted by now. And so anyway, if at any point you want to come back to these live streams, sometimes I do start the Facebook ones before YouTube, but it's only a 2-minute difference. You're not really losing much. You can always just go on YouTube and you can get, if not 100, 98% of the live stream. So anyway, like I said, there's always the YouTube version, and sometimes it is 100%, because last week I just downloaded the Facebook one to YouTube. So, that's something I could actually do, is that I could just do the live stream on Facebook and then download it to YouTube later. That's what technically I could do instead, but no. It was a hard trouble just doing that last week. So I'm going to continue going live on both streaming services. So with that said, we will continue with episodes 13 through 15 on my birthday, May 18th. So with canceling, so sorry for the distraction of canceling and stuff. The events are still going on. I recreated the event, but it's only under my profile. So make sure you don't go to the group. Go to my profile. I will post the link into the group just in case. So there's nothing wrong with going to the group. But under my profile, we're still continuing our Once Upon a Time marathon events. The cancellation was just a mistake. But we are canceling the marathon next week. So don't be looking for me next week. Happy Mother's Day. With that said, happy Mother's Day. This is sort of last minute, but last night I made a ranking video of all the seasons. For those watching the show for the first time, I invited people to watch the show for the first time as we're doing this marathon. Do not watch that video of me ranking the seasons because it will spoil a lot. If you're annoyed about me teasing spoilers as we're watching the episodes, it's nothing compared to what I say in there. So don't watch that video. This is only for people who know the show, who've seen it from season 1 to season 7, and who are just reliving the show with me in my marathon. I have a video. I was going to publish it that night, but when I was ranking the seasons, I ended up talking for a very long time. It's what I do. I love talking a lot, and I talked a lot about each season. And I didn't just rank the seasons, I ranked the Once Upon a Time specials. If you forgot, we are going over the Once Upon a Time specials. They're like season recaps and interviews with the cast and crew and stuff like that. There are special episodes that aired on ABC, but it didn't come with the season package when it came out on DVD, Netflix, or Disney Plus. So I have copies of the episodes on my YouTube channel. I was pretty well at avoiding copyright, except some of them cost money, and I can't record it and re-upload it to my channel. So I'm trying to figure out how to get around that. If for some reason I can't share the episode with you, then there are two options. We either don't do the episode because it has nothing to do with the season. It's just to catch you up on everything that's been going on. Or because I did want to review every single episode that ever existed. Or I just or you just sacrifice a few dollars of your time to buy the episode. Some of them you can only buy with the whole season. So my recommendation, if it's not too late already, don't get the show on DVD or on Disney Plus. Buy it on YouTube. That's the only way you can get every single episode that we're going to review here on YouTube and Facebook. So anyway, luckily our first special is not until season 2. So whatever the solution is, even if you want me to just skip that episode, whatever the solution is, we can worry about it when we get there. Right now, we're on season 1. Season 1 has no special episodes. But going back to my ranking video, I ranked all the specials. I ranked all the seasons. I ranked Wonderland. I ranked all the arcs because even though you know what an arc is, it's a storyline. Even though the main storyline is breaking the curse for season 1, as we get into later seasons, everything's going to be half arc. You're going to have season 3A, season 3B, season 5A, season 5B, season 2A, season 2B, season 2C. You're going to have you're going to have the season split into halves, and for season 2, 3 parts. But I do rank the arcs individually as well. So because I'm not just ranking the seasons, that's what made it a long video, and talking about them a lot as well kind of did that. So after I realized how long I made the video, I'm trying to edit out and take some certain parts. And so instead of publishing it last night, I decided to wait. And I'm thinking about publishing the video on Mother's Day since we're not doing a live stream. Since we're not doing a live stream, I don't think I'll do it at 6:50, but I might schedule it to release at 7 so that you have something to watch since we're not doing our marathon. For those who are watching it for the first time, you are welcome to get ahead. So then that way, in case I might be spoiling too much, I try not to spoil so you can have a good experience. But you know how sometimes there are people that tease a little bit. They don't spoil much, but they tease a little bit. If you don't like me teasing about what's to happen, like not necessarily, let me give an example, but I'm not going to spoil anything. This is not something that's going to happen in the show. But like, let's do Belle's death, for example. Let's say she really did die, okay? Instead of saying, Belle's going to die, or something's going to happen to Belle, I could say a tease would be like, ooh, something bad's going to happen, just pre-warning you. But I'm not saying any more details, If you don't like my tease, or if it's a little too much, feel free to get a little bit ahead, so that way I don't ruin your experience. But I would still love it if you came back and watched my live stream. It's now over 9:30, and my phone is turning off. My computer is turning off. Crazy. I hope my live stream's still going. That was frustrating. It didn't turn off completely. It was just kind of turning off because I wasn't touching anything on my screen for a while, and nothing's playing on Disney Plus. So anyway, but yeah, just to kind of wrap things up. And plus we started a few minutes late, so I'm going to let this go over a little bit, but not too much. Well, for YouTube, we started this late. I'm going to end the Facebook live stream, but before I do, Oh no, I'll just end both live streams. It doesn't matter. And plus my YouTube one is saying 2 minutes and 37. No, 2 hours and 37 minutes. So it's time to wrap up. It's almost that 2 hours and 40 minute mark. Even though it's 9:30 now, just to wrap up what I was saying. Um, so yeah, no live stream on Mother's Day. So use this opportunity to get ahead if you want, but just come back to my live stream when we review the episodes. And then on that note, because we're not doing one on Mother's Day, I might still have a video release. On YouTube, you can schedule a video and when to release it. As far as going live, it's not me going live. It's a video already pre-recorded. Even before this live stream, I even said at the end, make sure you join us for episodes 10 through 12. And I didn't think about it until after I said it. I think I did go back and cut that part out, but in case there's anything in there that I didn't cut out that talks about this live stream, I do remember before ending the video, I was clarifying. By the time when I realized it was an hour long, that's how long the video is. Spoiler. I did cut it down to 53 minutes though, so I've done at least some progress. I'm gonna continue editing it though. Until then, though, just know that when you watch the video, it was made before this live stream. So, but I did correct myself at the end, and I said, "Okay, join us on May 18th when we review episodes 13 through 15." I didn't decide to do it on Mother's Day at that time though, so I didn't say technically next Sunday on the video. But when it releases, it will be next Sunday, right? But right now it's 2 weeks away because we're not going to go live on Mother's Day. So anyway, I will plan to release that video hopefully around 7 o'clock. It's probably going to be at least another few days before you can see it in my scheduled videos, because like even though it just like live streams, that are planned in advance, even though the video's not out yet, you should still get a notification saying that I have a video scheduled for Mother's Day. But that's probably not going to pop up for at least a few more days because I still got editing to do, and the new college term is about to start. So as far as my spring break goes, it has come to an end. I don't know if I'll get around to it. I might just release the 53 minutes that I already have. If it helps you feel any better and you're sick of my talking, just watch it on fast speed. If my ranking seems pretty boring to you, then just wait for 2 weeks. We'll go live in 2 weeks. So no Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Star Wars Day. And I'll see you on my birthday. It's now hit the 2 hours and 40-minute mark on YouTube. So with that, I'm going to end this live stream. Have a great day, y'all. And God be with you till we meet again. See you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks for episodes 13 through 15. Hopefully you caught that. 2 weeks. No live stream next week. I don't want to delete all the events on accident, so it's gonna probably notify you. Ignore your notifications for next Sunday, okay? Just ignore them. And with that note, I'm gonna end the live stream. Our Facebook one is 2 hours and 44 minutes. Our normal live stream is 2 hours and 40. So for Facebook, I'm sorry for going over 4 minutes. For YouTube, I've only gone over 1 minute, so not as sorry. But anyway, have a great week. Bye, y'all.